Hi, everybody. This is Vladi. We have a beautiful Maria Steuer here, and we're back for a weekend successful parenting advice. And hi, Maria. Are you well?
Hi, Vladi. Yes, I am, and hope you too.
Yes, thank you. I actually have a question from one of the moms, and she says, do I measure my success as a parent by the quality of the relationship or by how effectively I can control the child? And I'll just give you a quick story. We were in a park and her children were running around, but enjoying themselves and experiencing, exploring, climbing trees, like a really good way of childhood, I'd say. And there was a mom who had a really beautiful two children, and they were very obedient. So, like they listened to her, they did everything she said. And we started having a chat. She said, well, oh, I feel like a bad parent because look at them, they just do everything she says, and I look at mine. And we just had a chat that what is better. And I said to her, successful parenting is not by how obedient the children are, but how what a great relationship she can create and how she can encourage them to it. But I said I will ask Maria because I'm sure she's going to give you a very good advice on that.
So I need a minute to think about it,
Yeah.
but I think there were a lot of labeling things in your story about what's good, what's not so good. Controlling isn't really a neutral word, I would
Mm.
say. And how can you measure the quality of a relationship? And successful is not a neutral word. So, and I think the most important thing is that both parts of the relationship feel comfortable. And
Mhm.
I think we need to give a definition about what is successful parenting. So some people would say successful parenting is when the children do what I want them to do,
Mhm.
and uh, and while children are not uh, always comfortable children, sometimes they are wild because they are searching for boundaries, and sometimes those wild children do not have enough boundaries. So how will you measure successful parenting? And it seemed in your example that you you are thinking, or your friend is thinking, that wild children are uh, feeling comfortable, and this is successful, because wild children and good relationship isn't the same. And this is all our inner pictures, our imaginations, how we think. And I think it's not, you cannot measure successful parenting.
Mhm.
Maybe you can measure successful parenting after, when they are adults. Then you can see, are they able to uh, be adults that are comfortable with themselves? Are they struggling? Do they have problems? Or are they able to think by themselves, being responsible? And it's really hard to see this at this age. Uh, we are starting these days that we think, if we don't look at the real great first beginning of kindergarten at 8 o'clock, and when we are late, those children, when they are grown up, they will never come at time to their job. We are thinking for the future,
Mhm.
and then there is no place for growth. And I think maybe you saw a mom that didn't allow growth with their children, and no, not learning from their children, that this was maybe a more, how would you say, a relationship that doesn't allow growth of both sides, on both sides. The mom and the children are not
Not
growing.
flexible.
Yeah, maybe in this way. So this is maybe the thing that gave you a uncomfortable feeling when you had a look at this family.
Mhm.
And maybe you remembered your childhood, that you grow up with pleasing the parents, and maybe that maybe uh, triggered your memories about your childhood. So you didn't like this. And maybe you had a childhood where you were allowed to run around and be wild and you loved this. And then you think, okay, maybe they have a better relationship, but this is all in your mind.
Yes.
You're not able to look after what's really going on between the parent and the child. If they are pleasing, maybe they are pleased because they every day they can do what they want, so they are grateful, so they do what their mom tells them. Or maybe, it's so much thinking and imagination and own memories that I do not have an answer to your question. And I think the most important thing is, when I have a look at another family, I can maybe be aware about my triggers more, and then maybe have more look at the quality of relationship. And also disconnected moms could have those children that please her. And how will you measure a connection? I don't know how you can measure. We have tests for this. We have a secure attachment or an insecure attachment, but these are all only questions that a man or a woman developed with their mind.
Yes.
So I think this is something like in the direction of labeling behavior and relationships. So
I love that you
so
said that.
I
Sorry. I love that you said that, because it seems like people are comparing their parenting again. And we already talked about this before, didn't we? It's where they say, oh, but she does that, and is this right? Instead of really connecting to what's right for me, which would trigger what you just said. It's success is a different thing for a different parenting style. Because if
so
it's
it
the
could be.
connection, so you mentioned the connection. If the mom has a connection to a child, that's already a success, isn't it?
Yeah, and it could be that your friend maybe wants their children to listen more, and then when she sees
Yes, she
other
does
moms
actually. That's
where,
what she said. Yeah. She said
yeah,
that she would
so
love
and
her kids to listen more.
yeah, and maybe because she do not want to go deeper in this, why aren't they listening to her? She maybe does this comparison and now say, okay, I think my children are more happier, so I do not need to get deeper to this point why I'm not able to get my children listen to me. And then she says, oh, listening children are controlled children, so I do not want to have this, so I will handle this wild children. And then it's an excuse why
Yeah.
she doesn't go to her point where she is struggling. So this
Okay, so is it
could be more,
avoiding?
yes, it could be more a hint for her. This is what I want to do. And then I have to go to this point why it's so difficult for me to get me in a position where my children would listen to me, and go to the point of her struggle.
Oh, okay, wonderful. That is actually brilliant. Thank you so
Okay.
much for your beautiful advice and answering the question, and wishing you a wonderful week. And we'll be back next weekend. And remember, Maria is still training on her 6 weeks amazing program. And I will put the link in a chat so you guys can straight have a look.
Okay, and everyone is welcome.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Maria.
Yeah, thank you, Vladi, and see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.